tror bare, at jeg vil lade dig gå i gang, Trond, med at præsentere casen.
Yeah, English?
Yeah, in English. We will do it in English.
Okay, so we are ready to go?
Yeah, we are ready to go, yeah.
Okay, thank you for the invitation for this presentation of Argeo. We are an ocean space robotics and digitalization company. And we will go through a short presentation and allow for some Q&A afterwards. So Argeo is a company, a growth company. We completed an IPO in early April this year. We were quite soon thereafter registered on the Oslo Euronext Growth Stock Exchange. We have grown to approximately 40 employees over the last 6 months. We have 3 robotics crews delivering our services using the vehicles and technology that we are building. We have for 2022 3 active AUVs around in the global market, which we intend to grow over the years to come. Additionally, we are building an automatic surface vehicle platform, which we will have ready in February next year. And we are the first commercial operator of the ELUM system, which is a snake robotics solution. We have already established partnerships globally around the world. As you can see, we are working with partners in India, in West Africa, in Brazil, and we have established legal entities in the States, Houston to be more accurate, and in Singapore, making ready for global expansion in 2022. So our mission is quite strong. Our aim is to transform the ocean survey and inspection industry. And we do this by utilizing autonomous robotic systems rather than traditional vessels. And we do this in several markets, which we will explain later on. And this will, of course, increase efficiency and the quality in our products, but also important, significantly reduce the CO2 footprint for the industry at large. So our slogan, faster, better, greener at a lower cost. And we do this how? Replacing everything in the red frame on the left-hand side, which is consisting of traditional vessels, older type ROV systems, with everything in the green frame, which is robotic systems, autonomous solutions, and remotely operated from shore snake robotics solutions. Some highlights. So we have established the company globally, ready for expansion. We have the first of our large Sea Raptor systems is ready, undergoing testing as we speak. It will be commercially available in February with projects following thereafter. The second Sea Raptor, which we have for now called Bravo, is building according to plan and with commercial tests in February and potential work for this already starting up in mid-March. So since Q1, we have a completed recruitment plan for the company with 3 AUV crews and an office staff of making it 40 employees. Full onboarding of the commercial team, both nationally and globally. We are about to sign contracts for the existing Hugin system in the Americas, expect to be released within days. And for this first contract in South America, we are working on several additional projects following on from there. We see a positive project acquisition for Q1 and Q2 in 22, and we are building backlog for all the 3 assets and any more to come with good horizons starting to materialize in Q3 and onwards. Argeo, with all of its assets, our data capability and experience from over 20 years in offshore activities, are uniquely positioned to develop disruptive business models in several of our verticals. We have several multi-client opportunities identified, and we will action these over 2022. Revenue for Q3 was mostly related to smaller projects, about 3.4 million compared to 0.5 million in 2020. And we have a cash balance of nearly 80 million end of Q3 2021. So where do we see the market? Global interest, mainly from offshore wind and oil and gas survey and inspection. Huge markets worldwide. What we do in oil and gas is primarily making sure that the infrastructure in the oceans are safe and maintained and monitored. For offshore wind, it's a more complex business model where we do everything from initial survey, planning-wise, throughout the full life cycle of inspection and monitoring to end of decommissioning. We see that there's a growing interest in the cable and installation verification market, where we employ Argeo technology. And of course, there's a huge growth market in deep sea minerals, where we have proprietary technology, which we believe will revolutionize that market segments going forward. So we see growth in all of our verticals, starting from left, cable and installations, where we have unique technology replacing ROV operations for verification and inspection. These are intercontinental connection points and cable inspection for offshore wind. Offshore wind is also a growing market. Very interested with for us and our solutions of integrated technology and what we build in-house in Argeo. Oil and gas survey and inspection, equally the same. There is a lot of inspection and monitoring activities over the next 10 to 20 years. And of course, we see that there is a global demand for batteries and metals for the renewable sector, which is fueling the expectancy for a large growth plan for deep sea mineral. So what are we doing on technology? Not to spend too much time on this slide, but we have our own wholly owned subsidiary called Argeo Robotics, which is building sensor and data systems for the robotic system that we use in the field. We have tailor-made systems that allows the robotic system to track buried assets, pipelines, or cable systems. We can do several UXO, so basically unexploded ordnance for offshore wind projects. And we are also developing a revolutionary controlled source electromagnetic technology for exploration of deep sea minerals. We have our USV platform, which we believe is going to be a very cost-effective tool for initial and inspection service for the offshore wind industry. It will also be a deployment and recovery platform for the ELUM system, which is being commercialized throughout the first quarters of next year. And of course, with all of the sensors and complex data that we have, a wholly owned developed digital twin solution for data management. So these are sort of a closer look on some of the robotic system that we use. We have the Sea Raptor system, which is now being commercialized over the next 2 months. We have the ELUM system, which we are integrated with our geotechnology, which will be commercialized over the first 2 to 3 quarters next year. But it's fully commercially and operatable So it will start operations in Q1 next year. Hugin system, we have a Hugin system already in operation, but we are fully committed to expanding the fleet of Hugin systems worldwide as well. Our mission is obviously to reduce the need for traditional surface vessel and activities. So we are extending the capability of the SeaRaptor system with a drop-in power source module. And this allows us to go from 2 days of operation between dives to nearly 10 days of operation. So, which means that we are getting closer and closer to shore operation. So, which means that we can deploy the AUVs from quayside, send it out, survey an area, inspect an area, and return. This can obviously be followed or supervised with the USVs that we are building, and our USV program doesn't stop with this. We can build many others, larger, different forms and so on, to go in tandem with these activities. As mentioned, we are the first commercial global operator of the ELUM system, Snake Robotic Systems, which we are taking delivery of in Q1 and starting the operational plan and escalation of this system going forward. And what does ELUM do? It gives significant benefits to clients in oil and gas and offshore wind for inspection and monitoring of subsea assets. So we see over a 50% cost reduction for IMR operations, which would be a huge impact for offshore wind in terms of monitoring. It's both a resident system, it can be deployed from the surface, so lots of opportunities tooled the right way, and that's why we integrate Argeo technology into the Snake Robotic Systems in cooperation with Kongsberg and ELUM itself. So this is the last slide.
I don't know.
We aim to transform the market and the verticals that we work in. We have a first mover advantage with the technology we develop, and our services would significantly lower the fuel consumption and then also HMS in operations. And we will deliver attractive financial with strong cash generation over the years to come. Thank you. Any questions?
Can you hear me, Trond? Can you hear me? I think the sound unfortunately has... is it better now, Trond?
So one more time. Sorry.
Can you hear me? Yeah, there's one question I think is on everybody's mind. Is this COVID-19 and is that the Africa and such countries, is that actually dragging out some projects? Do you see some disturbance to your signing of new contracts and such, or is that still too early to say anything about?
No, it's a very good question. We haven't seen any effect in terms of contracts and our current plans. For now, we need to obviously do diligent risk assessment for all of the projects that we do, but we have been dealing with this now for 2 years. So keeping that in mind, and we have been continuously working over that period as well. So we have a good handle of that whole situation, and it doesn't affect our building programs, commercialization programs at all at this point.
Perfect. Yeah, but I think, Trond, unfortunately, we run out of time. We will have a lot of questions later on and more presentation of your case. But thank you, Trond, for taking us through it. And det næste levende billede vil være Nexcom, som kommer her om cirka 2 minutter. Hej, Trond.
Okay. Hej.